there's something I'm not really getting with the One Piece community, and that is that so many of the fans, especially when Luffy fought Katakuri, I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, during that fight, when it came to the cliffhanger, and there was that week off for Oda and the people who make One Piece, and everyone's like, "What's gonna happen? Who's gonna win the fight?" And everyone was toned. It was either Luffy was gonna win. I think like 10% of the fan base thought Luffy would win. 50% thought Katakuri would win, and like 40% thought it would be a draw, which I would have been okay if it was a draw, but I really would have just been so pissed off if Luffy would have lost because, like, we don't need to see Luffy lose again. At least not so soon. Especially since like, I hear like people saying there needs to be a second time skip, and it's like, why? Why does there need to be a second time skip? I mean, it'd be cool if there was, but not so soon, because even though it's been a few years since the time skip, it has just like in terms of One Piece time, it's only been a few weeks or months in the new world. Like pre time skip One Piece when the crew was together was only like 6 months maximum, and then the crew was apart for 2 years, and now like we are reaching uh Reverie and Wano, and uh people are already calling for a second time skip. It's like we don't need it. We especially when like Luffy and the crew haven't been able to show off all of their abilities yet, and it kind of ticked me off when people wanted Katakuri to win the fight, because it's like, why? Like, did why did you really go through all the stress and anxiety when watching Luffy lose again and again and again from the first time around at Sabayori to everything to Marineford? He got his ass handed to him again and again and again and again, and it was a refreshing change at the time, because like he's a shonen hero. We expect our shonen heroes to always come out on top, and I guess that's like just the Goku type of thing in an anime, is we always expect them to come out on top. And there was that brief period in One Piece where Luffy wasn't. It was like Luffy was the equivalent of pre-time skip Usopp going up against uh, every admiral and every big name player who wasn't a Yonko during that brief period. And now, here we are going into Reverie and then hopefully Wano right after. And everyone, it seems like every big fight, all the fans are like, oh, Luffy can't win this one. No, Luffy has to lose this one. And it's like, why? The story has been going on for over 20 years now. Like, we've seen Luffy lose, but his ultimate goal is to become Pirate King, and Pirate King is supposed to be the end all be all in One Piece. It's supposed to be stronger than the Vice Admirals, then the Admirals, then the Warlords, then the Yonko. It's supposed to be the number one ranking in all of One Piece. That's Luffy's goal. He can't lose. I'm fine if Oda writes in him losing every now and then, and he has to come up with a different technique or find a different way to take out a strong character. Like, okay, I get, like, Luffy's gonna need some help with Kaido. But we are in the new world now. Oda himself, last year or the year before, said One Piece is 65% done. Which, okay, we have like 10 years left, apparently, but at the same time, that means Luffy, as well as the rest of the Straw Hats, need to get their shit together. They need to beat these big name opponents. And, like, I'm not even sure if there would be time for another time skip. Like, I'm glad Luffy beat Katakuri, and it's not like he buried him, he inched his victory out there. But it proves that Luffy is at least Yonko Commando level, and that's where he needs to be at least right now. And if we were to just keep saying, nah, Luffy needs to lose, Luffy's not strong enough to win this run, then what's the point of even watching One Piece? It sounds like we just want to see Luffy lose and not even become Pirate King in the end. It's like, the time is now. Luffy needs to graduate from being able to beat Yonko commandos to being able to beat Yonko. That's just how it is. He he needs to get stronger. He needs to become one of the most dominant forces in the world and one of the most unbeatable. And I want to see him go through the struggle. Don't get me wrong. I want to see him go through the struggle. I don't want to see him one punch, pun, kind of intended, kind of not intended there. I don't want to see Luffy one punch KO Kaido. I want to see a big grueling fight that would seem like the end all be all of fights in One Piece, at least until we get to Luffy versus Shanks, or Luffy versus New World version of Blackbeard, or Luffy versus Akainu. But yeah, I'm not saying one-shot Kaido, one-shot Big Mom, one-shot Shanks when the time comes, one-shot Blackbeard. Of course, he's not going to one-shot Blackbeard. Blackbeard's supposedly the last antagonist in the series, so there's no way Luffy can just one-shot him. But, like, I'm saying Luffy needs to win. He needs to get stronger, get more serious in his fights, and be able to take out any opponent that comes his way, either the first time around or at least in the second round. That's just how it has to be, because, like, if he starts losing as badly as he did during the time period from Sabayori to Marineford, I don't see how he'll ever become Pirate King.